Hello, everyone. First of all, thanks to all of you for your support and motivation to learn and share my knowledge and experience to all of you. In this video, I have selected on the topic called closed loop quality. How this closed loop quality will help different organizations to improve their supplier management process. This supplier management process is comprising of different sub-processes like supplier initial assessment, supplier receiving inspections, supplier corrective actions, change management, supplier audits, and many more. Right. So how, like in this video, you will understand how these different sub-processes as a part of supplier management process are executed. The activities are executed in a closed loop way. The scenario which I have considered here as an organization, based on increase in the capacity of your organization, your supply chain team have planned to identify a new supplier, right? So that scenario which I have considered here. So based on that, how the other activities are interlinked and executed, that I will show you. Okay, so let us start with the first activity. So as the customer, as an organization, first activity you have to do is supplier qualification audit. So how you will do this? You will have your own guidelines, your own criteria, the scoring or evaluation criteria. Based on that criteria, you will onboard a new supplier. You will qualify a new supplier. Basically, our audit process, our audit module will help you to assess a new suppliers and evaluate a new suppliers to onboard them, right? So once you qualify the supplier, so that data will come to this module. So where you'll be having all the approved materials, approved suppliers with this module. This module can also be integrated with ERP solutions like SAP, where the material masters or supplier masters. So these different information, required information will be communicated to this module, and based on this, the other activities will be executed. So just imagine you have onboarded a supplier, but that supplier will not be able to dispatch the components to you. Why? The reason is the PPAP is not done for that particular component. So your supplier development team will initiate a new PPAP for this component, especially to go for the regular production, regular dispatch of this component from the supplier. So your supplier development team will initiate a new PPAP. So it has to be get it reviewed and approved from the relevant stakeholders from your team. Once the PPAP is done, then supplier will be able to dispatch the parts. So that this is how you will receive the parts from the suppliers at your facility. So once you receive the components at your facility, your inspection team, like receiving inspection team, will have a different guidelines, inspection guidelines like inspection plan, a DOL, non-DOL criteria. You'll be having different sampling plans. So we have one of the incoming inspection module, which will intelligently tell you whether the inspection is required or not required. So whether in the past any issues are happened, so what should be the frequency of change related to the inspection. So it will tell you how many parts needs to be inspected for this received component. So this is how this module will intelligently tell you what needs to be checked and how many part needs to be checked. So as the overall status of this incoming inspection would be okay or not okay. If this is not okay, then the incoming inspection team needs to raise the non-conformity. So here you can see once you do the inspection, so it will go to the non-conformance module. So basically this non-conformance is raised from the incoming inspection team. So just think, whenever you raise a non-conformity, the NC can rise from the internal issues or also from the supplier issues. If this NC is raised due to internal stakeholders, then you have to get the CAPA from the internal stakeholders. If the non-conformance is related to the suppliers, then SCAR will be generated. This SCAR needs to be received from the suppliers. This is how it is linked with the SCAR and internal stakeholders as a CAPA. So sometimes as an organization, maybe you would like to take the CAPA or the SCAR from the suppliers, but apart from that, you want to use as is condition, right? So the components you want to use as is with the rework or any other methods. With that, you have to go for the deviation management process. So the same non-conformance module will be linked with the deviation management process, where the authorized personnel will give the approvals for the deviation if that particular dimensions or the characteristics is not having the impact on the performance, safety, or based on your own criteria. So the deviation process will follow. So in this condition, if you're using as is, then you'll have the CAPA plus deviation or SCAR plus deviation if it is related to the supplier issues. So then the same corrective action or the supplier corrective action, if it can have the impact on your document control. So you'd be having different documents. Let's say the same corrective action is having the impact on your control plan, FMEA, work instruction, or any other documents, right? So those document automatic trigger will go to those documents, and those documents owners, author of those documents will get notification, auto notification, and they have to get it reviewed and approved. And this is how all these activities will happen in a closed loop way. The same way the document is getting updated or impacted from the corrective action, and due to that a training may require for your team or the shop floor team. So that is how this is linked again with the training module. So this is how you can see all these different activities or different processes. Basically all these activities are part of different processes, but with this closed loop model, you will see right from the initial assessments to the document control training, all these different activities are interconnected and executed in a closed loop way. So now let us talk about the supplier performance monitoring. The supply performance monitoring will have its own criteria. Every organization will have their own criteria based on the criticality or the risk level of the component, right? So the criteria basically, organizations consider as PPM, rejections, non-conformances, audit score, number of corrective actions, right? Deviations. So all these are the premium flights. So these different parameters are considered to rate the suppliers. So here the system will allow you, this platform will allow you to have your own criteria, so that the supplier rating module will connect to CAPA, will connect to NCMR, SCAR, incoming inspections for PPMs, audit score from the audit process. So this is how this supplier rating is linked with the different applicable modules, so that the overall supplier rating will get generated here. And at this stage, you'll be having a different categorization of suppliers, like green category suppliers, yellow category suppliers, or red category suppliers. And for yellow and red, you'll be having the plans to get the supplier corrective actions to improve the rating of their suppliers. And that is how you can see here from the supplier performance rating application. If the supplier is in yellow or red category, then that again is connected to a SCAR application, because for in this condition, supplier has to submit the supplier corrective action reports to improve their rating, right? And in some cases, some of the corrective actions can have the impact on the product design or the process design. And now, this action, if it is having the impact on both of these two, any of these two, then, this will be connected to the change management. And as you are aware that, every change is mandatorily requires PPAP, and this is how it is linked with the PPAP approval. And now just imagine, right, from the supplier assessment to the supplier performance rating, all these activities are happening in a closed loop way. And here from the change management, it requires for re-PPAP. And from the re-PPAP, supplier will dispatch the modified components to you, and system will, this platform will intelligently tell you that, this is the modified component. If the existing component, that there will be system lock, so that, the platform will tell you to hold that material, reject those parts if it is not as per the modified component requirement. So this is how, right from the supplier qualification audit to the supplier rating, all these activities are executed in a closed loop way. So related to this, model or the scenario, if you want to have the more information related to this, definitely you can connect with me. I can provide you more details, more insights with the practical approach, right? So thanks to everyone for watching this.